Hello there, Apple Buddies. This is your Apple Bite Written Writ Ralph talking to you straight from our show here, The Written Writ, a show where you and I and you get creative, have fun, and geek out. Paul, I am so happy that you funded. So now it becomes a whole other event with your Kickstarter.
Yeah, now it's not desperation anymore, right?
Well, I always like to say that once you fund it kind of gets to that relaxed moment where you're like, okay, even though stuff can happen, but at that moment you're like, we're funded. So now,
yeah, I just came across it. I think was it yesterday, the day before. I can't remember anymore. I think
it was the day before. Yeah.
Yeah, and I just was really excited. I mean, I let everybody know. I just feel that I really want to make the next couple milestones. I think having people get involved with this even further. We're giving away free stuff. Might as well just keep adding to the momentum. I mean, I just feel that we have a lot to offer. I think it's a great project in terms of what we're trying to accomplish. And I just feel it's really important. And I think the more people know about this, the more they get on board with it. And well, I think it's just all positive stuff. So I'm pretty excited about it.
Well, at least you're in good company, because I was talking to somebody today, telling them that what I've been realizing or witnessing when it comes to Kickstarters is that for some reason there's a lot of projects out there that stay stuck right before they fund.
Yeah.
They fund eventually, but it seems to take them the whole time.
Yeah, it's funny. I've been reading a lot about the algorithm and how you really have to keep activity going forward, and it's really important. I think even if you get like 1 or 2 pledges a day, even if they're nominal, it just keeps the Kickstarter aware this this is an active campaign and it's working. And so that's why it's really pressing. I mean, doing a lot of DMing to people. I mean, I am happy to support creators. It's always my thing, that. And, I'm hoping that some of that is reciprocal, because, I'm a creator too. And I hope people realize that, I could use the support. So I just feel that, if we help each other, like you say, Ralph, all the time, high tides raises all ships. And it's just really what my moniker is when it comes to, trying to get this community involved and active. I mean, I think there are a lot of opportunities to support people, and there's a lot of opportunities to support great projects. And so I'm really hoping mine's one of those. I just hope people realize that, and they, I'm not looking for a lot of money. Just even if it's a $5 or $10 pledge, that'll make me more than happy. So I just feel that I really am more concerned about getting this project out into the realm of awareness. And I think it's really important in terms of trying to get kids interested in learning about history, which I think is a total miss right now. I mean, it's clearly evident. You read it in the news every day, and people are, reacting to situations where if they just knew about what happened in the past, it would be a no-brainer. It's like, why even consider these happenings that are going on? So,
I agree. I feel like too many people have let history slip through the cracks, and now we're just repeating everything over and over and over.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the context of individuals that have done things before us, and it's amazing. The people who have done great things and really trailblazing new ideas and showing that they truly are valuable, even if they were done 200, 300, 400 years ago. It's what's created society today. If you look at it, I mean, everything's been built up from the past. And it just, allows new things to be created for the future. And I think if you have that understanding of, what impact history has in terms of, understanding how to move forward, then it's just a matter of, doing the right thing because you have that groundwork. It's like I go back to when I went to art school, and my typography teacher, he basically said to me, listen, you can break all the rules you want, but if you don't know what the rules are, then how do you know how to break them? Exactly. And so you have to know what the rules are before you can break things and see if they work or not. And that's really comes down to, understanding where we've been, where we are, and where we're going. So
I gotta say, when I was working in the hospital, I had this boss who knew all the union rules, sometimes even better than the union did. And that's how she twisted it and turned and did her thing.
Yeah. Yeah, you got to know what you're playing with. It's like, or you're gonna be playing fire pretty quick.
Oh, definitely.
So, yeah, but one of the things I am investigating and trying to improve this campaign is going on. It's going to end on the 13th of August, but one of the rewards we have is a hardcover edition of the book. And so I originally was looking to make this like a soft touch feel. So basically a hardcover paperback book that has a laminate finish on it that, will feel like, a soft touch, And so I actually found a resource that does like a leatherette and almost a leather binding. It'll have a foil stamp on it. So it'll look like a real case bound book, and it will be case bound. So that's what I'm looking to investigate with this. And what's great is they can do very small printing. So I can get like 10 copies done. So based on,
that's great.
Yeah, whatever amount of pledges that are made towards the book, either the treasure trove or the book itself, I'll be able to get those copies printed out pretty economically, which I'm pretty excited about, because now it'll be like an actual tome. It's like one of these books you can hold in your hand. It's got some weight to it, and it'll have a nice leather cover with a gold foil stamp on it. So it's pretty wild.
So what vendor are you using to make the book?
I was looking at 40-hour books, Nikolai. They're on the web. I found them through some searches. And they have a really good reputation. They're based in Ohio, so the shipping is only a couple days with UPS Ground. So that's even nominal when it comes to shipping the books out. And so it looks like a good resource. They've done a lot of self-publishing opportunities for authors, and so looking to do that. So it'll be great.
Definitely. I'm looking forward to having these things in my hand. You didn't make it easy, brother, because all like fantastic covers, and then the hardbound.
Well, that's why.
Great.
That's why I had the early bird. I mean, I was sweating bullets for the past 2 weeks because my email provider that I have been using for years just totally garbaged out on me. I mean, I was not getting any kind of opens from the sends that I was doing to my backers, who'd done the previous campaign and people that had been following me. And so I essentially lost a week when the early bird was going on. So I don't know how many people really knew about the early bird that was happening. That was 20% off everything. And because Kickstarter, they lock you into the pricing after you start the campaign, I wasn't able to extend that out. I wish I could have. I would have done another week, because I did catch up. And now the email campaigns are working again. And I have a new provider. And so, I'm letting people know, but it really burned me big time, because I think I missed an opportunity with, getting people on board early and, at a price that's even more affordable, because that treasure trove that was offered was $120 with the discount as opposed to $150, which I think is more approachable. And it's a lot of stuff. I mean, the treasure trove is all 5 variant covers as a hard copy edition. It's a hard copy edition of the regular cover, includes all the stickers, both the sticker pack of the 250th anniversary, as well as the sticker sheet. It comes with a digital edition, and then it has the hardcover edition included as well. So it's like everything that I have in my campaign, even for $150, I think is pretty reasonable. It was $120 during the early bird. So, but regardless, I mean, I'm pretty excited. We got funded, which is really great. I'm just looking forward to unlocking stretch goals now. Our first stretch goal has been revealed. We're going to be offering 3 new digital stickers. And if the stretch goal makes, everyone that's on this campaign will be an official Secret Circle member. So anyone that watches Christmas Story knows what the Secret Circle is all about. So like I said, I am big for Easter eggs, and this is one of my biggest Easter eggs ever. So I love it. So.
Oh my God. I love that whole little badge thing. I'm like, I think you need to make it either into a badge or a pin.
Yeah, I'm going to do a pin. So I think that might be another stretch goal that we're going to reach. But, that's definitely going to be a pin in the future. And it's going to be sizable too. The pins I produce, like the one with Nick or Togo, those are like an 1.5 inches in diameter, which is pretty good. It's not overly large, but I think the membership pin has to be probably like a 2-inch diameter. I think a little bit bigger, gives it a little heft and stands out a little bit, because the artwork is really ornate. I really wanted to do something kind of cool with that, so I just went to town with it.
So, you know people are going to want to wear it like a badge. So
yeah, it's the whole point. We're a Secret Circle member, right? So I love it. It's just so much fun. And my whole intent is just to get this program out there into kids' hands, ultimately through the education framework that we're developing, the History All Around Us campaign. With that, we're trying to get kids to actually participate actively in class. And that means, actually writing things down talking with one another, sharing ideas, and then doing presentations together, and just get them to the point where they're comfortable doing it. I think a lot of people get nervous standing in front of a crowd or talking in a group because they just haven't practiced it. I think the more you practice this sort of thing, the more the real life skill comes into play, where you can actually go out and actually have conversations with people and not get worried about it. And so, and it's more than that. It's researching topics that they like. Really getting them involved and active and understanding, there's things in history that aren't boring. There are some really cool stuff that you can look into and want to engage with and want to research more about it. So
you do a good job at putting all that together.
Yeah, it's, I'm excited to get this book done. I've been working on the additional pages now that I got my marketing problems out of the way. And I just, I'm actually doing the last page first, so I'm kind of excited about that because it's going to be one of the coolest ones in the whole book. So it's going to be the sign off before the episode 2 ends. And I was talking to my wife about it, and she says, "Wow, this is going to be pretty wild." I said, "Yeah, it's going to be pretty wild." I'm really excited about it. So it's fun. It's going to be blow all the doors off, and let's blow history up and have fun while we're doing it. So.
Oh, definitely. And I love the fact that what you say, which is like history is everywhere. And I feel like people, we've had this conversation before where I feel like people don't understand what history really is.
Right.
They have this like very small, very minimal definition of history.
Well, it's funny you say that because I think it's the way history's taught, right? I think when I went to school, and I'll never forget this, it was 7th grade U.S. Constitution class, and this teacher made us write down verbatim every word of the United States Constitution, starting with the Bill of Rights. And it's like he essentially recited the whole. Well, it was worse than that, Nikolai. He stood in front of the classroom and he was talking to us, and we had to write down everything he said. Like, that's going to make us remember this. It's just like, it was the most boring thing. I just want to get out of that class. And I think that's what turns kids off to wanting to do this, because the way it's being taught. I think, so if you don't know when, Christopher Columbus landed in El Salvador, what year that was, what does that matter? I mean, you have to understand the impact of what his actions were more on the region than I think when exactly he did it. I mean, in the context of history, then you kind of have to know, but to know a specific date is kind of silly. I mean, you have to understand the impact that, influencers had, in the shaping of where we are now is more important than understanding, yes, I can recite every date for the past, 2,000 years from the Dark Ages through the Renaissance to, Civil War, when things happen. It's like, okay, so you're a great trivia buff. What does that prove? So it's just like, I just feel that it's more than that. And it's really understanding, the impact that, actions have that, dictates what happens in the future, so to speak. So
I still love this one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna make it'll have a little tag in the book. Will say, "Thank you, George." I mean, I just the comic books and movies have been big influencers in my life, and I think it's kind of important to acknowledge that. So that's why I'm having fun doing this. Is we have a Discord channel up, and I'm getting more subscribers on it, which lightens my heart a lot. I just really feel that spreading the word about this is important. But we'll be having an Easter egg hunt once the issue is produced. So once you get your issue, we're going to open up to opportunity for people to look at it and figure out how many Easter eggs I put in the book, which will be many. So it's pretty good. Not sure what I'll offer. Probably more free stuff, so that's okay. Deal with that.
Love the add-ons.
Yeah, I mean, I was surprised. I mean, I had offered, I'm going to be putting more up too, but a lot of people like the hat. I've got a few togas, blue bandanas go out the door. So it's great. I mean, I think it's fun that, the merch is tied to the game, and I wanted to do that purposely. I think, having an identifiable piece of merchandise along with its appearance in the game is pretty important. And, it's also kind of fun to have and wear. And, the Inquisitor Chrono Flip is really cool. I think it's really awesome. I'm trying to have a stretch goal come up that will offer another Chrono Flip, but we'll see and wait and see what happens, see how far the campaign goes along. If that doesn't move towards that area, then I'll throw it up as an add-on eventually. So, but I think it's worth it because it's even more fun too. So,
wow, I love that freaking shirt. No one can stop me.
Yeah, the shirt's cool. I'm actually gonna put another shirt up. It'll feature Amelia Earhart. It'll have her portrait on the front with her airplane, and
Right.
it'll say "Fueled by Brains and Moxie." So I'm really looking forward to that one as well. So that'll be an offering that will be up there. I just have to prep the artwork for it, and I found another provider that can do T-shirts one-off, and I got the quality from them, and it looks really good. So no matter how many T-shirts I need, I can get them ordered at the sizes needed, and have them produced pretty economically, which is cool. So.
I gotta say, this could be a good print right here.
Well, that's like 3 stretch goals ahead. But again, if I don't get there eventually, that'll be an add-on.
There you have it, folks. He's always thinking of something. So, and I
Yeah,
gotta
I
say,
love
like,
this
if
stuff.
you are supporting him, once all these stretch goals kick off, you're gonna get a lot of loot, a lot of swag.
Yeah, I really believe in like rewarding people. I feel that the support that I get is important, and I want to show it. Like I said, it's building the community, making a greater understanding of what we're trying to do, and the more people I have on board with that, the more impactful it's going to be. And so that's what really makes me excited about this more than anything else. So it's kind of cool.
I'm looking forward to all that. Of course, I put the link into the comment section there, so you can go check it out. Let's keep moving forward. He does have 3 stretch goals coming up, so help him out. Let's get those stretch goals out of the way. Get the money flowing. Paul needs a good team behind him to do all the stuff that he wants to do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited. If I can get, an artist and a programmer on board, I can easily get the next game done. It's about 65% finished. I just have to work on getting, the dungeon crawl done and some animations for it. But really, the whole mechanics for the Galaga experience with the airplane flying through Kansas and the transdimensional realm, that's done. It looks really cool. I've shown people that demo on my phone, and they said, "Wow, this is looking hot." So the whole point of this is just not making video games, just not making a comic book. It's not just making a tabletop role-playing game. It's really meant to encompass what we call universal design for learning. So it's allowing and providing opportunities for kids of any reading level the chance to actually engage with the material and learn things. And that was one of the things that started the video game for me, because I really saw a lot of video games, which are great. I love, Destiny. I love Assassin's Creed. But, when you look at it, all the closed captioning is running on the bottom. And it's just like you have to read the bottom to hear what's happening if you can't really hear it at the time, right? But the problem is when you read the bottom of the screen, you miss what's happening at the top of the screen, right? And that's what's so great about comic books, is because you have the word balloons and it's all in action. It's all where the characters are speaking. It's all where the characters are doing. And so you can still read as you go. You can hear it at the same time. And in fact, it ties better to the whole experience because the animations are talking. You see the words on screen, you can hear them at the same time. So it's a multi-sensory approach. And that's really drove me towards doing the video game first. But then I realized, this can go into a comic book. It can go into a tabletop role-playing game. And so that's where it's just going ultimately. Ultimately, we want to develop, a whole Pokemon experience where we have a virtual reality where players can play and interact with historic sites on their phone as they move through different areas of the country or even across the world. And then the other thing we have is the whole thing that my wife is really keen on, which I love, because she loves this idea of corresponding with people, doing letters, whatever. And so because we're able to break barriers using the digital age, via the internet or text messaging, whatever it is, being able to correspond with kids from across the globe. So you can do, a whole project for learning history and doing it with a kid who lives in Japan or who lives in India or who lives in, China, whatever that may be. With the software that's available for translations, you can connect these students with one another and not only learn about the past, but learn about the culture too, which I think is really important. So a lot of things in the hopper that we can work on. It's just a matter of getting the money, the resources, the talent to do it. So it'll be fun.
I agree. We just need to get the people in there.
Yeah, the other thing I'm working on too, it's because this email provider kind of dumped on me. I'm actually building a new storefront in Shopify. So I'm going to be launching a new store probably within the next week. And it'll be a lot easier to get to. It looks a lot hotter. It's going to have pretty much all the merchandise that's featured on the Kickstarter. available for purchase online. And the reason why I'm doing it is because I want to tie, the wrap up the Kickstarter through the store a lot easier, so that I can do a survey, do some add-ons as people move through, finalizing their pledges and everything, and then really, connect them with the ability to purchase more merch if they want to do that. So I'm pretty excited about that too. So it should be good.
So folks, help them out. Go to the Kickstarter. It's right there in the comments. Go for it.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Nikolai, I love your hat. Look at that.
Timeenforcers.com, right?
I love it. That's amazing.
He walks through the con and people just look at him. I gotta say, we've met Nikolai twice at Garden State Comic Fest now, and he's always a blast. And it's always the meeting of the lab coats.
Well, Nikolai turned me on to doing a lab coat for myself,
yes,
so it's really cool.
It's surprising what you can get on Amazon for $50.
I know, it's incredible. It's great. It's not to worry about putting name badges on. It's embroidered, so it even looks more official, which is really cool. So it's awesome.
So Nikolai, why don't you tell the people all the good stuff? Give them the spiel. Tell them who you are. Tell them why we're so impressed by you.
Well, my main social is Instagram. I do have a TikTok. I don't really use it that much, but so I'm experimenting with generative AI as a storytelling medium. So I'm using my TikTok to create essentially pitches in AI. I'm primarily a writer. I've written 3 books by hand. I've got several more on my computer that I'm currently working on. And, so I like to try different mediums, try different ways of experimenting with things. Of course, as I alluded to, I've got various things around me, like the Constitution as references. And, I've got various other things, such as, of course, my previous history as as a editor on a national magazine.
Oh,
this
cool.
seems relevant, given the current climate. So, yes, I worked for 2 national magazines for 8 years. Donald Trump was one of our cover pieces. And, nowadays, I have written 3 books with more in the works. Of course, the first one is an RPG. How appropriate.
Love it.
You must choose your class in a world where no one is actually born with a gender. Everyone's born gender neutral. You choose your class at level 1, which is typically age 5.
Right.
Our protagonist, Zev, here, was a little bit indecisive and has made his way to college. He's in his 20s. Still hasn't decided. And the gods were like, come on, man. It's been 20 fucking years. Pick something or we're picking one for you. Zev still couldn't decide after 2 decades. And so the god said, you must choose a class or a class will be chosen for you. Thus, you cat was born. Because the god basically said, we're rolling the dice. Okay, you are a cat girl acrobat. Deal with it. You had 20 years to make a choice. You didn't. We're picking this. And the main premise of the story is that you, whose name itself is a case of indecisiveness because it's turned into a cat girl, no longer the name Zev applies, gets a job at a bar as a bouncer and, taking care of the rodents of unusual size in the basement. And when the bartender says, hey, you cat, what's your name? She goes, sure.
Sure.
And so the entire premise of the book is trying to acquire enough resources by joining an adventuring party in order to gain the money to do a class change. Because technically you can do that, it's just not cheap.
I guess it kind of reminds me of video games.
We've now got a classic adventuring party.
When they make you choose the name.
Exactly. We got a classic adventuring party with our main protagonist being so indecisive they couldn't even pick their own name. And so the story is following a pretty classic adventuring story, and just various situations come up, and you just does not make decisions until decisions are made for her.
Wow.
And that's kind of the main.
Well, it's that old Rush song. decide not to make a choice, you still have made a decision.
Yeah, that is the lesson ultimately learned by the end. Like the entire premise of the book is like, well, that's a solution, but it's not a permanent solution, or that's a solution, but it's not a perfect solution. It's like, damn it, you pick something. And one of the consequences of that is, I don't know how you can see it in this background image, but that's also you at one point in the story.
It's so funny.
I gotta say, like, I've had a couple players where things happen to them because they just wouldn't pick.
And so that was my first book that I published. And then the second book that I published was on the heels of something entering public domain.
Popeye!
New Adventures of Popeye.
Gotta love Popeye.
Because, all these other things were entering the public domain, and people were going like, oh, let's go make a Winnie the Pooh horror movie. And it's like, I mean, obviously they're going to make a Popeye horror movie, but come on, let's do something creative. And since Popeye had been out of, doing anything for years, I'm like, you know what? I just want to make a classic Popeye Saturday morning cartoon. And so I wrote a book, The New Adventures of Popeye, The Dwellers of the Deep, which is essentially Popeye versus Cthulhu.
I can see it.
I love it.
To set up the world of this new version of Popeye, because some things are still protected under copyright and whatnot, so I couldn't use like spinach or olive oil.
Yeah, interesting.
But I was able to use, Popeye himself. So I have at the beginning of the book just like a series of, I guess you call them, I don't know if you consider them limericks or poems, but it's basically his background.
Huh.
So, for example, he's Popeye the Sailor Man, born in a garbage can. Abandoned at birth, became a ward of the church. Raised in a broken home, he spent many nights crying alone. Got Popeyed in a fight, but we turned out all right. So basically, his entire background is done through poem.
That's all of it. It's awesome.
I love it.
Just like several pages in the beginning, it's just establishing his background, and then we get chapter 1, The Sailor's Heaven. And then, now that I've gotten the feel of how to make a book, I made one proper size.
Deck 36.
Death is a Tuesday afternoon. This is sci-fi horror.
It's pretty good.
Fringe Station 9. Humanity has conquered death, but the fringe is where it was reminded of the cost. A father and son keep the lights on at the edge of space. Bodies die. Clones return, but the memories don't always come back. The mystery isn't why the station is so quiet, it's why anyone is still there at all.
Oh my God.
And I've got other ones that I'm working on, but they don't have any print media. I have sent you like pictures of some of the other covers, but I've got like Leon and Ashley, which is inspired by the World of Darkness. So if you've ever played World of Darkness.
Oh yeah, I played World of Darkness.
So the main character is essentially inspired by a technocrat from the technocracy,
right?
Who is found by her estranged brother, who's essentially Leon Kennedy from Resident Evil. So blasting those two ideologies right there. And our main protagonist in Leon and Ashley Monroe, is essentially someone who's already finished their adventure. They're level 50. They're trying to retire. It's like, God damn it, I don't want to go on a hero's journey anymore. I want to settle down in a new universe where I can just be a landlord and fix properties. But they keep dragging me back in.
I just want to say Al Pacino in Godfather 4, was it the 3, whatever it was.
And so, the book is about, we've got a protagonist who's overqualified, keeps being dragged into shenanigans. It's not an overpowered protagonist, it's an overqualified protagonist. They face other opponents who are able to compete at their level, just often they underestimate the protagonist because, they're not from this universe, so there's no record of them. And if someone was as powerful as they are, there should be a record of them.
Right.
So the initial first implement was like, oh, yeah, it's just some 20-year-old gopher. She's no threat. And then she starts bending space and time. Like, okay, we need to reevaluate. We have no record of them. We now have a record of them. We're not going to underestimate them the next time. And the kind of story
it's
following. a
It's funny
character
you're
who's
saying that because
finished their job. They're trying to retire, and they keep being dragged into shenanigans.
it's funny that you say that because I always thought that that's how it would go if a character from one universe ended up in another universe. Because I feel like when people look at both characters, they don't think about the fact that if this character was in the other universe, some things would be different. Or if that character was in this other universe, some things would be different. I don't think people really think about it. They just like fighting about it and going, "Oh, my character will beat your character."
I mean, one of the things I love to do for like just fanfics for Leon and Ashley is literally do that. I have written so many fanfics where I just drop her into another IP. Obviously, I can't publish any of that, but it'll be on the website. Just free content. It's fun to throw a multiverse traveler. It's like, oh, what would happen if Ashley met Anakin Skywalker? What would happen if Ashley met the boys?
It's funny because I like to say all the time that one of the best ways to learn writing is to work in somebody else's sandbox, is to do the fan fiction, because you're playing with somebody else's rules, so you start to understand those rules, so that when you do it on your own, you can understand the rules even better.
Isn't that right?
The general idea is like, yes, I am a person who watches Death Battle. Yes, I am a power scaler. And the benefits of being the creator of your own character is that you can power scale them really well because you know them really well.
I agree.
It's the equivalent of well, I cannot say their names. The creators of Superman,
right?
Creating fanfic in like Moby Dick.
That'd be interesting.
After a speeding bullet, able to leave a tall building in a single bound. Look up in the air. Is that a whale?
That's a white whale.
Talk about a Captain Ahab phobia.
So does that make Ahab Lex Luthor?
It must be.
Maybe Brainiac, because Brainiac's a bit more bloodthirsty.
Yeah. Hey, you're right.
Yeah, but Luthor is more obsessive, when it came to like, kill him.
Yeah, because he's totally obsessed with Superman
and his popularity. But like Brainiac just wants to kill everything. Like he wants to collect all the information, then kill everybody, so new information can be created. At which point he'd have to then again recollect it.
Let's follow this thread for a second, because I know Ralph will like this a lot. So going off that topic, right? So Nikolai, right? Brainiac is like doing it methodically, right? And so he's thinking about, killing everybody off because he's a machine. He feels that that's a perfect, incarnation, is making everything machine-based, right? The thing about Luthor, though, which I think is more applicable for Ahab, it's personal. And like he wants to get rid of Superman because it's a personal thing. It has nothing to do with the fact that, he just wants to get rid of him. This is like a personal vendetta he's got against him, and that's where his obsession.
It's a personal vendetta because it messes with his popularity and his position at the top. Yeah. For Ahab, it's actually more like Batman. A Batman who's gone bad. Because remember, Batman's entire drive is he doesn't want someone else to suffer the losses he has suffered. So imagine someone having that idea twisted in kernel. He doesn't want anyone else to suffer the same way he has suffered, so he will go and destroy the things that destroyed his life.
That makes it a much more vicious Batman.
And it explains why Captain Ahab's ship has got so many wonderful toys.
So many wonderful toys. I gotta say, I feel like you actually think about the ideas. And again, it's like I was saying. Like I feel like a lot of people, when they do this fight between characters, they don't really put thought into it. They just go with whatever their favorite is, and because I tell people all the time, if you got two characters fighting, it all depends on the writer and who the writer likes. That's
pretty much. I mean, that's what Stan Lee said. The person who wins is the person who's writing the book.
Exactly.
Unless, of course, it was the Batman and Deadpool book, in which case it was literally the writer. The big bad in that book was literally the writer with a magic.
That actually makes total sense because it's Deadpool.
Well, it's like you know what's great about books growing up as a kid, and I'm dating myself now. It's just like the whole thing with the Thing versus the Hulk,
Yeah.
or Thor versus Hercules. I mean, it's like, fans were involved and it's like getting really agitated that how can Hercules beat Thor? It's impossible. How can the Thing lose to the Hulk? You know what I'm saying? It's just like there's something about the community at that point where they really behind these characters and had like invested interest in them. And, I think, yeah, it's about the writer, but I think a lot of times with Marvel, especially, they were really listening to the fan base and really kind of tailoring the story to what the fans wanted, which is kind of cool. As opposed to just going off these dynamics where, we're going to make them evil now and let's see what happens. Or
let's just make Superman evil. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It was different back then. It really was. So
it was more fun.
Yeah.
You still had the fights, you still had the nerd fights, you still had the geek fights.
Yep.
But it was a little bit more fun. The fights would get intense, and I saw some fights when I was younger that got really intense. But I don't feel like they get as intense as they do now. I feel like now people with everything, like politics, everything, they get too wrapped up in what they want or what they believe or what they I feel like before it was like, let's have some fun.
Yeah, I mean, even the absolute Batman, it's like getting to the point where it's, I don't know, it's like almost over the top now. It's beyond what Batman is.
Well, to be fair, the Absolute Universe's entire premise is that Darkseid said, I'm getting tired of getting my ass kicked by these guys. I'm going to create a universe where they're all getting their asses kicked. It's literally him being petty.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, because it is a Darkseid created universe. So when you think about it like that, it makes so much more sense.
That's literally the premise. It's like he's found his way to the World Forger, and he says, he basically forces the World Forger to make a world to his specification, and that's why Batman gets no love. Because he is so tired of getting his ass beaten by
Batman, yeah.
So he's like, okay, Batman gets no fortune, no Alfred. He's
no family.
No family. All of his enemies are cosmic horrors.
That's the when you look at it like that, it makes so much more sense. Yeah.
And it puts everything in perspective, because that explains why Superman is in a much better place, because he wants Superman to be turned into another one of his parademons. So he wants to break Superman's spirit so he can get Superman's power on his side.
Which is what he's always wanted. He's always wanted Superman on his side.
It's literally Darkseid doing his own fanfic with him and Sue. Like, I'm going to make a universe where everybody sucks except me.
That's great.
Batman especially has a really bad life because that guy sucks.
It's so funny because it kind of reminds me of all the Batman haters, and I have to say, like, there's some ridiculous things that Batman has done that you sit there going, but then you go, that's why Batman's not really supposed to be in the Justice League universe. He's supposed to be in his own universe over there on the side. So if you stick him into the superhero universe, he's going to be a little different than he is in Gotham.
Well, there was one issue, I can't remember what it was, but it was a Justice League copy. It's going back like maybe 20 years. And, the Justice League puts up the clarion call for everyone to get to the space station because we have to regroup to like save the universe type deal. And then Batman showed up like 20 minutes late. It's like, Batman, where the heck were you? It's like, well, there's this lady getting, beat up. I had to stop and help her before I could come and save the world. It's like, you're right. Batman is his own universe, and these are his priorities.
To be fair, Bart could be like, yeah, well, there was a cat stuck in a tree. I had to help. The only one that would be like disagreeing with that would be like Wonder Woman. You'd be like, and why are you late, Flash? Well, I had to help with the Flash Museum.
I do feel like I kind of miss when they would write Superman that he would do those little things, like pull the cat out of the tree or help somebody, because those are the stories when you kind of more connect with Superman.
One of his first stories was him punching a landlord because he was cheating his tenants.
And then you also had the story where he stopped the abusive husband.
And of course, there was Superman versus the Klan.
Yep. It always bugs me out when somebody goes, comics weren't woke before. I'm like, I don't know what you were reading.
One of my personal favorites, which I have over there, is Superman Peace on Earth. It's this giant book, but it is beautifully drawn by Alex Ross.
It's a beautiful book.
It's him trying to end world hunger.
Yep. I haven't thought about that book in a long time. So let me ask you this, because I know we were talking about this in the green room. I love magazines, and I feel like magazines, what ended up happening with them is they didn't change fast enough. I feel like if they would have evolved with what was happening, if they would have had the online component at the same time as the magazine component, I think they would have lasted longer, at least lasted longer, or still be around right now.
I mean, ironically,
there are magazines that are still around.
The magazines I worked on for 8 years, we actually had an online site alongside of it. So every time we would release a new issue, it was also available online.
So did
now,
that work?
They're a defunct organization now, but that is a very long story. I'm not sure you guys are ready for.
Yeah, because I feel like especially with the gaming magazines, they just all like disappeared off the face of the earth. I was surprised to hear the Game Informer is back, and I was like, oh, cool, Game Informer is back, and this is interesting. And I've seen a couple of the magazines try to make a comeback, and I kind of get at least with the gaming magazines, I kind of get it because you want the information as fast as possible. You want it now.
That's the thing. A magazine is not going to have the same speed as the internet. So you have to have something that's got material that's evergreen. I mean, I have still got copies of gaming magazines that gave details on Final Fantasy X2's classes.
Yep.
Like that's why gaming magazines work, is that they provide you with strategy guides, tips and tricks. And I still have tons of them to this day. The same reason that comic books still survive, even though they're struggling along, is that you can pick up a comic book 12 years later and it'll still have the same story. It doesn't matter even if it's like steeped in early 2000s culture and memes and whatnot, it's still going to have a story you can follow.
Yeah. But it's it's funny because I feel like especially with comics, they have this thing where they're old. I'm like, no. When I started reading comics, I wasn't reading comics that were happening at the moment. I ended up with back issues that were like years away from where I was, and you could still read them. The language sometimes was a little weird, but the story was still the same story.
That's it. I think one of my fondest memories was when I was in high school, and I had a flea market with a friend of mine, and this guy was selling books, and he had a run of Spideys from like 60 to like almost 99, and like $2 a piece. And he lent me the money to get it. I brought him home. My parents were so pissed at me because I borrowed his money to buy the books, but I still have those to this day. I mean, those were books that like were published, when I was only like 4 or 5 years old, and it's really cool. Read them. John Romita Senior covers, and the way Stanley wrote those books at that time it was fun. It was really cool in terms of seeing the perspective of Spidey, especially moving through that period, because it was classic. It was classic Spider-Man. The whole angst of Captain Stacy being murdered, and he really wasn't murdered by Spider-Man, but he was pinned with it, and his relationship with Gwen and the whole 9 yards. It was
great story.
It was really cool. It was great stuff, So I agree with you, Ralph. I mean, going back to the old books, especially when I wasn't around when they first came out, is really neat that way.
And I also think that's one of the ways where the new comics lose their way, because I didn't need to buy an issue 1 in order to understand what the hell was going on.
Right.
You bought whatever issue was coming out, that's what you got. And then in the issue, they'll be like, if you want to know more about this, go find issue 45. And you'll see the story of what we're talking about here, and then that's what would end up happening is like you'd go find the other issue. It's like, oh,
that was
like
great. Editor note. It was like Jim Shooter. His little notations at the bottom.
Yep.
Jim's like, and then he say, yeah, it happened 4 issues ago, whatever. That was kind of fun. You don't see that anymore. That's another Easter egg. I gotta do that. That's cool.
Previously,
I gotta get that in the book.
Let me ask you this, Paul. You know that we're talking magazines. Have you considered because I know you did the first issue of Time Enforcers was digital.
Yep.
Have you considered trying to make it a print issue?
I want to do a full-fledged magazine. Yeah, ultimately it could be cool as print. I did it digitally just for production in terms of trying to get it done, but it's resources at this point. I mean, what I liked with that issue. It really went deeper into the characters and the backgrounds, and actually talked about Haruko. I can't remember the name of it anyway, but it's a Japanese card game that Nintendo invented. That's how they got into the industry. Basically, Nintendo started as a card manufacturer, game manufacturer. And so the history behind that was pretty fascinating. So, I really like the idea of the magazine because it's like anything else. I agree with you, like the Game Informer, because I used to get Game Informer when I was, with GameStop. I would get that every month, which is fun because you read the backgrounds, what's happening, and you can't always get that on the internet. I mean, someone actually spent time researching this topic, to take a certain perspective on what happens in this game. It might not be something that's available, just through a download, which is kind of neat, seeing that perspective and how people interpret things and how it's read. And so I kind of miss that. I think seeing things in a magazine form is another source of information, and and may offer something that's just not out there floating around the web. Who knows? I mean, how much stuff on Wiki is still not valid, and people are going to that every day still. So
I gotta say, like looking things up digitally, to find out where you are in a game, kind of annoys the hell out of me. I love the fact, like you were saying, Nikolai, where you would open up the magazine and there's the playthrough, and you didn't have to keep trying to figure out on the phone or on your computer what's going on, what's happening. You could just have it in front of you and read through it.
Though, to be fair, it can get outdated. Like, I have a copy of the official Vault guide for Fallout 4 over there.
Yeah,
it's just not covering the DLCs, because none of the DLCs existed when it was published.
that's true. See, but that's different though. That's something that can be covered digitally. I feel like when you first come out with a game, I love the fact that they used to have the maps in the magazine, and you pull out the maps and you do all the things, or the gaming manuals, which I don't even see anymore.
Well, that's the whole thing. It's like, I think what's being a big miss now with everything's like digital, right? It's like you've gotten to this point now where you just can't sit down and think.
No.
You need like this instant gratification in terms of figuring out what it is, as opposed to actually sitting down and thinking and reading, right? And that was great about the maps. It's great about the manuals, because you actually had to sit down and look through it, digest it, figure it out, then go and apply it. It's a different, thought process if you think about it, right?
I agree. I think he's gonna pull something out.
City of Heroes, I love it.
Oh, I love that game.
I remember that.
So, like, even though the game
it's still going, right?
It used to be defunct, it's now back.
Yep, it's still going.
Yep.
But
that one server is becoming legit.
You gotta reduce it. You gotta reduce the quality to make an MMO, and then look at this concept.
Yep.
That's why I loved getting those books, those player guides.
I wish I had time to do that shit. Man, it's like I'm just trying to pump stuff out. I just want to sit down and do character sketches. Be awesome. It's gonna take too long.
I miss City of Heroes. I played the hell out of that game. And when they got rid of it, I was like, oh. But I had heard rumors that one of the servers stayed there, and that's what happened. They were able to manipulate it so they can stay there. And now that one server has gone legit.
No, what happened was that the fans, being the crazy people that we are, we were able to keep the client-side information, because even though Play NC decided that the literal first superhero MMO just didn't fit with their vibe and didn't fit with their Korean grinder vibe of fantasy games like Guild Wars.
Wow.
And gave literally the company that was getting ready to produce their 27th content update 48 hours to kill everything. You can't stop the fans. And we were in the thousands. We had issue 26 downloaded on our computers. some of us were on the beta, and
Yep.
we had access to issue 27.
Yep.
The problem was the client-side information can't really be used to make a server. So it took 10 years for them to reverse engineer that. And from what I understand, now this is still rumor, but apparently one of the actual original developers had a copy on his computer and was eventually able to finish the last hurdle to get it back up online. And so City of Heroes Homecoming was a thing. You can get it now. It's out there on the internet. There's several different servers. I've recreated many of my characters there.
Dude, I am so tempted. I know exactly what you're talking about. Like I keep getting the messages going, come back, Rob, come back.
Was that they could do fundraising to pay for their servers, but they could only raise enough money to keep their servers going.
Right.
They did that for several years, and apparently PlayNC just kind of folded, and they're just like, you know what? As long as you make no profit off of this, we will give you our blessing to do it officially.
Love it.
So now you can talk about City of Heroes Homecoming because it is officially out there, blessed by PlayNC as a non-profit MMO.
Yep. I've been watching videos. This guy who's still playing, he's like, oh, and I'm like, oh my God. It just gives you the juices flowing. And you're like, damn. I'm like, I don't have time for that.
Well, that's why they've actually got several merchants in the game now that can give you various boosts for XP and whatnot. You can just pay with in-game currency.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah.
So, like, you don't actually need to pay with real world money. In fact, legally they can't accept real world money. But like all of like the prestige bonuses that you had from being like having an account for like a year or whatever, you can just buy with in-game influence.
Oh,
they've even got Architect back up and running, which means you can make your own levels.
Ooh,
that's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
It's the full game, full functionality. They've added new character power sets and classes that were in development at the time. The company, the guys that have done spin-offs have added their own new class. So like they have expanded from the original. And you just find one of the versions of City of Heroes you like, see what makes it different from another one, and join the game you enjoy. Because like some of them have really created more content focuses. Some have done completely new character classes. The source code is still available. If none of that interests you, you could just get the source code from GitHub and make your own server and your own version.
Wow. Dude, I don't have time for any of that. You and Paul are so similar because, you guys are constantly working on something, constantly doing something. So, Nikolai, you're a jack of all trades, just like Paul. What's your next endeavor?
Well, I've got two main things I'm working on because I'm trying to finish the End Ashley series, which I'm already up to volume 8. Right now, I'm just getting the art. I'm getting all the writing done. I'm getting the artwork done in the background so that when I release volume 1, it's got all the artwork included. Because my first 3 books, I had no art in them because this was my first try at making a book. Now, since I've got 3 books under my wing, I'm making sure that the 4th book I release, which will be Leon and Ashley, volume 1, will have the story itself done, the cover's already done, and then there'll be the interior artwork. And then, of course, over on my Patreon, I'm working on a video game.
Jack of all trades, folks. Look at this.
And then over on my Ko-Fi, I'm working on a comic book.
I can see why you and Paul get along. I don't know how you guys do it. I really don't. Like, I have enough trouble running this show, running Bit and Apple TV. But in all fairness, between the cons and the show, it keeps me brutally busy.
I cut my lawn today and I passed out on the couch. I was so tired. So there you go. Life is a series of naps. It's not really, any more sleep cycles anymore.
Yeah, that's what Paul's always saying. It's like, who slept? I didn't sleep.
I slept. It's like, 3 hours and then I woke up. So it's all right.
That counts as sleep.
It does count as sleep.
I guess.
So do you hit other cons besides Garden State Comic Fest?
I try to get like 2 conventions done a year, but that's really all I can do because I have a full-time job. No, it's not making video games. I wish. I work in a supermarket.
Oh, Oh, you're paying for the dream. We understand that here at Bitten Apple TV, where we pay for the dream because you know, a lot of us have to pay for the dream. We have the real job that takes care of other
we have
jobs.
this thing, which doesn't count.
Exactly. And people are always like, "Oh, Ralph, how much money do you make off of Bitten Apple TV?" It's not that much, I can tell you that much.
I finally reached a point where I am making a passive income off of my video game mods. I make $30 a month.
It's so funny because I feel like the regular normal person always looks at this stuff and they're like, "Oh, you guys must be making buku bucks." I'm like, dude, I don't know where you're living, what world you're you know, Marvel and DC and all the big companies, they make money because that's all they do, you know, and they have staff that helps them do it. You know, we are loners here, hoping like Paul with the Kickstarter that he gets a staff.
That's kind of the idea.
Some help. I'll hire, you know, contractors. I don't need a staff. I'll hire a contractor. Good with that too.
Oh man.
I mean, that's kind of why I set up the Patreon and the Ko-Fi.
Yep.
And the Rumble.
Yep. And it kind of pisses me off.
On Nexus Mods.
It kind of pisses me off, like we were talking about before, where you know, you got all these companies that are supposed to pay you and give you money, and they're constantly trying to figure out how not to pay you.
Pretty much.
We don't like that video you made, so we're not going to pay you.
Yeah, YouTube still owes me $100. Don't think I've forgotten, YouTube. You owe me $100, Google. Probably more with interest.
Yeah, I was watching a creator on TikTok, and he had a video going and it was getting a lot of views, and all of a sudden TikTok goes, when he was about to get paid, TikTok goes, "Oh no, this content is not original." And I was like, that is messed up. So he's like, I was about to get a couple of bucks, not much to I tell you, but I was about to get a couple of bucks, and then all of a sudden they decided that this was not original.
I've got a rant on my YouTube where I literally, because at one point I was doing riffs on Super Sentai,
right,
and so I would have a couple seconds clip from like an episode of Dawn Brothers or whatever, and then there'd be me making jokes for a minute and a half. And then they copyright struck me. And so I made a video where I showed my actual like editing software. Like, do you see that purple bar? That's the content I'm sourcing. Do you see the 3 times longer green bar? That's my commentary.
Oh, yeah, they like to mess with you.
This video is 15 minutes long, and I have 2.5 minutes of footage. The rest is me talking. This is fair use, toy.
And that's exactly what it was. The TikToker had used like a snippet of a video, and they were calling it not original because he used that snippet of the video, and it was the same thing. He had done this whole big thing with that little tiny snippet, and they concentrated on this.
And I'm not even trying to be monetized. I just don't want my channel to get channel strikes. And they channel struck me. It's like, dude, I don't care if you take the money. I haven't been monetized in several years. I don't care. Just don't take down my channel.
You know, it's funny, for Bitten Apple TV, we when we used to do the videos, we would use music and we'd get copyright strikes. Then at a point, Cadma decided that she was just going to make an album herself, and then we would use our own music. And guess what happened? We got a copyright strike of our own music. It was the funniest shit in the world.
Yeah, so there's some company out there that just claims ownership of all stuff.
Yeah. And then we're telling YouTube, dude, this is our music. And of course they had to take it back. But the whole process is a bitch.
Yeah. It's ridiculous.
Oh my God, folks. This stuff is not easy. Like, so if you're a favorite content maker is making money, believe me, it's not easy. On top of that, you got to build you got to build a huge following for it to actually pay you off.
Yeah, I mean, I don't stream regularly because I have a life. But every time I've streamed, even my most recent stream, which I haven't done in several years, there's one guy who always shows up to my streams. He's my most dedicated fan. Thank you, Hetero.
That's awesome.
That is awesome, and I know exactly what you're talking about because they're not here live, but they'll do the rewatch of the show, and you know you see it come in, and you're like, I know who these people are. At least a small percentage of them, I know who they are. I know they're rewatching the show, and then you run into them at the cons, and they're like, oh, when you got it, because sometimes you go, nobody's watching this stuff, and then you run into somebody at a con, and they go, that episode when you were talking to the guys about this and that and that and this, and I'm like, you know, I feel like somebody's lying. Somebody's lying about the views we're getting.
I mean, some people are more the VOD. Like I said, I used to do Rift streams for years until eventually just real life got in the way. But I would get like 2 people that might show up for my 2.5-hour streams like every weekend, and I was doing them Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Ooh,
on a schedule.
Right. Oh, because they tell you that's what you're supposed to do.
I'd have 2 or 3 people show up in the chat, but then I look at the VOD and it'd be like 40 people.
Yeah.
Even though I had a very set schedule, I did every weekend at this particular time. I'd have a couple people from my Discord who'd show up, and then I'd have more people on the VODs. Even my TikTok, when I look at it, it's like there is no one commenting on my content at all.
Yeah,
but
I know the feeling.
I'll see like 40. I'll see like, for example, 32 views, 21 views, 28 views.
Yeah.
I have got on my actual channel 0 followers, 1 like, and 10 following. But apparently, people are still watching the content because I have like an average of like 29 views on my videos and literally 0 people following me.
And it's funny because TikTok hates those, because TikTok goes, hold on, I'll put you up. TikTok goes, oh, this is a lie. These aren't real people. I'm like, they're watching. They're there. They have to be real people.
Yeah, I don't know if that's visible or not, but yes, literally 0 followers.
Oh my God, it's not easy, folks. It's not easy at all. Paul, you don't even try the TikTok, right?
I post a TikTok. I mean, it's funny. When I started first using TikTok, I was getting like 200, 300 views. But then as soon as you miss like a day,
yeah,
you're down like to 0. And then so I post when I post. I mean, I have other things I need to do, like Nikolai. I have a job. I mean, I'm trying to get other things going. If I had someone who's doing social media who could post every day, that's great. But
definitely.
To ask a creator to post every day, and make it meaningful, I mean, that's outrageous.
It becomes
you're just posting garbage at this point, as far as I'm concerned. There's no meaningful content.
In order for you to post good content, it has to turn into a job. It has to be something you're actually working at. Yeah.
You need it. I mean, to sit down and do a video, right, for a post, because I'm a perfectionist, and so it means I got to figure out the script, I got to figure out the content, and once I get that done, I got to get it recorded, and then I got to sit down and do post-production on it. And it's like, that's no mean feat. I mean, that takes a while. And it's like, so I'm going to spend 8 hours doing this for a 30-second video. I mean, I don't know. I'll post when it's important to post, and that's how I look at it. I mean, that's why I kind of give it up on the whole revenue thing with YouTube, which is a joke, because once I started seeing that my viewership was going up, my time viewed was going up, but YouTube was only reading it as like 3 hours. It's like, okay, this is a scam. It's like ridiculous. They're just sucking people into post content for their channel for free is what it comes down to.
It's funny though, because you're right though. The more we post for them, the better they do, the better they get. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I got ads flowing on my channels now. I mean, because I stream this broadcast twice a week, right? Bit and Apple on Monday, Writ on Wednesday. So I have 2 posts that I do every week consistently, right?
Yep.
And now I'm looking at my content now, and there's ads flowing in. I'm not getting revenue for that, but they're
Nope.
posting ads in my content. It's like, did I allow this? I don't remember allowing this. You know, it's like, why aren't I getting revenues from it? You know, you guys are making money off me. Evidently, you think it's important enough to do it. So why can't I get a share?
And it's funny because they tell you they don't like the shorter content. But they love when you have the long content because they put as many ads as they want in.
Well, the thing is, it's like, you know,
get none of that income.
I'm doing these ad campaigns for the Kickstarter, right? I got a Facebook and Instagram ad campaign up. You know what the longest time people usually spend watching a video is on Instagram? Take a guess.
5 minutes.
5 minutes?
Yeah.
How about 2 seconds? 2 seconds. You don't hook them in 2 seconds, man, they're gone. I mean, you know, I got my stuff going, and it's like if I don't have the hook in 2 seconds and then move on to something else,
wow,
forget it. I mean, people are like, that's what it is. Unless you're selling money, sex, or, you know, health products, you know, it's what it comes down to, you know.
Or your Temu advertisement.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
It's so funny. It's just you know, that's what it is. I mean, we're in such a frenetic stage of our culture where it's instant gratification, it's instant information, and I think people are just on information overload. And it's like at some point, just to step back and take a breath sometimes seems like it's not there. You can't do it. You know, it's sad.
It is sad.
I was watching, you know, a great show on Netflix now, Little House on the Prairie. They redid it as a reboot. It's amazing.
So wait, I heard recently, like I was watching one of those talk shows, and like so and so from Little House on the Prairie is on, and I'm like, I don't remember that name from Little House on the Prairie.
Yeah, I mean, it was Michael Landon. It was a huge show in the 70s.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like they said some new name, and I was like, so now you explained it to me. There's a whole new show.
It's a reboot on Netflix. It's amazing. It's I think 8 episodes. No one does anything more than 8 anymore. I mean, Cheers, when I was growing up, it was like 20 episodes a season. Frasier was 20 episodes a season. Now you're lucky if you get 6.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, I watched it with my wife. It was amazing.
It's 56 episodes a season.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but it's a great show. Just sit down and, you know, with Netflix, they give you all the episodes, so you have to wait each week. But it was phenomenal. It was so low keyed, you know, so moderately paced, but it was touched on, like, you know, everything in life, you know, life, death, happiness, sadness, everything was great. It was really heartwarming, and it was nice to sit down and actually watch a show where you didn't feel like you were on the edge of your seat for every second of every minute of every hour that show is happening. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of a nice break.
I miss 26 episodes per season.
I do too. I mean, I was watching Andor with my sons, and I got confused because I thought there's actually 3 seasons, but really the first season is 12 episodes. And I'm thinking, what did they do wrong here? I mean, that's unheard of nowadays. 12 episodes in a season. I mean, you watch Murdoch.
That's because they wanted to flesh it out. You know, the more episodes you have, the better you can flesh it out.
Well, yeah, it's great. That's what I love about that season of Andor. But one series we watch is Murdoch, and they run 20 episodes a season consistently. It's unheard of. I mean, they're not all great, but some of them are phenomenal. And it's just to think you're watching, you know, a whole length of episodes. This is what I used to watch TV growing up. Like we'd sit down and spend like 6 months watching a series, and then we'd wait another 6 months and it'd be out again, you know? Yep. Now it's like you spend 6 weeks watching a series and you had to wait like another 48 months.
Yeah.
You know, 48 weeks like to see another one come forward. You know, it's ridiculous. You know,
like 2 years. Nikolai, what's your next con?
I'm going to go to Anime NJ in November.
Anime NJ. That's the one the Garden Fest does, right? No. Which one is that one?
No, I haven't heard of that one. When is that?
Yeah. I pull up the information.
There's Anime Fest in April through the guys that does Garden State. That's April though, not November.
That is April. And in November they're doing Vineland. Garden State Comic Fest, Vineland. It's a great location. I went last year. Paul, you didn't get to go, right?
No, I had something going on that weekend.
Yeah.
So
the Anime NJ plus 2016. It's at the Hilton Hasbrook Heights, November 13th to 15th.
15th to 16th, you said, Nikolai?
13th to 15th.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I gotta put that on my calendar. I don't know if I can
Yeah.
make it out, but you try.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to make NYC this year. So anyway,
Oh, so you're not even gonna be there for one day on NYCC?
no. I mean, I've got we're planning a trip that weekend. So
Well, so it's because you got something else to do. Okay.
yeah. I mean, I would normally go to NYC, especially with a book.
And
I
you said,
think
like,
if I
on
had the book,
Thursday,
I'd probably try and
Mhm.
get a booth there.
Yeah.
You know what the heck? I mean, it's not cheap, that event. I mean, it's $2,000, I think, for a booth if you're an exhibitor. I mean, it's
Yeah.
cheaper to go Artist Alley, but they have a whole review process, and you're lucky if you get in through there. So
You're lucky you get into New York Comic Con at all.
Yep. Yep.
All right,
So-
Nikolai. One more time, tell the people where they can find you and all the good stuff. Go for it.
Well, there are so many places to find me.
I actually
I'm going to have to make like a
send me the
dedicated
Rumble link
card
and I put it into the
just list
comment section.
everything, but we'll go with the key one, shall we? Well, of course, there's my Instagram. There's, of course, my TikTok, which is Cuppa LLX as well. I'm on YouTube at Cuppa LX, CUPPA. I have got my merch store. Oh, I haven't even shown off the merch, have I?
Ooh,
Well, that's
looks
cool.
I like that.
And each one is related to a charity. This one being the Blue Ribbon, which is domestic abuse.
Oh, very cool.
That's pretty cool.
And of course, there is my Ko-Fi, which is NEKOLLX.
There you go. Stick that up. People can check it
Where
out.
if you're interested in Durgan Ball, I am working on a Durgan Ball comic. If you're not a fan of Dragon Ball, I'm also working on a Power Rangers comic.
There you go.
Very cool.
You hit them
One
all.
of those might interest you.
All
You'll
the fans.
find
All the
under
fans.
that same Nico LX name on the Nexus. I have produced several mods for the Nexus. That is my Rumble, where I did some experimentation with AI upscaling of Power Rangers.
Interesting.
Pretty much, you'll find me somewhere on the internet. I'm on Rumble. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Twitch. I'm on Instagram. I am on.
I don't know how you
TikTok.
do it, brother. I have no idea how you do it.
Your class series is my books website. I have got The New Adventures of Popeye. I've got And Ashley, my other book that's coming out. Of course, the easiest way to find me is just go on Instagram. Because, you know, if you respond to me or message me or whatever, I want to know where a particular thing is, I can DM you there. But like I said, you can get me right here on YouTube. You can get me on Twitch, Twitter, TikTok. The only thing I don't think I've got yet is Kick. I'm working on getting a Kick site. I've published multiple books. I've got a Patreon where I'm working on a video game where the first set of levels is available for free. Well, not for free. You have to put in at least $1 donation just so I can track who's actually interested in the game.
It makes sense. $1's not that much.
No, it's Mario and Mortal Kombat sort of mesh. So the idea is I'm calling it Project Playset, and the idea is just like how Smash Brothers was a kid smashing his figures together. Project Playset's the other idea. We have a playset. In this case, it's inspired by the Mushroom Kingdom, and you're taking characters that are absolutely not from the Mushroom Kingdom, like Mortal Kombat inspired characters, putting their dynamics into that playset.
Right.
And that's kind of the gameplay idea. So we've got a playset, which is inspired by Mario, and then characters that are completely different dynamic, and putting them in there so you can, pull off combos, jump, air juggles. You can throw a fireball. And that's sort of the idea, is to take two very different dynamics, the play style of a fighter, the world space of a platformer, and throw them together.
Dude, you are all over the place in a good way.
Yes.
And of course, if people want to see you, they can see you at NJ Anime. And of course, Garden State Comic Fest next year, because we've seen you twice now.
It just seems to be the easiest one for me to get to.
It's a good one. Dave does a great job at putting things together. Yes, he does. So, Paul, one more time, tell them all about your little Kickstarter and how it's going and whatnot.
Yeah, we got our Kickstarter running till August 13th, so excited about that. We're funded, which is a big relief. We're now pushing for stretch goals, which would be great. If you can contribute, no matter the amount, make a pledge, I'd appreciate it. We're looking to build a community of followers here, just to let people know how important this whole project is. And can follow us all over social media. Everything is at Time Enforcers, all one word. So 2 E's, Time Enforcers. And we're on YouTube, we're on TikTok, we're on X, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, Blue Sky. I can't remember. We have a Discord server as well. So trying to post everywhere I can. And if you can join the Discord, more importantly, that'd be great, because we're going to be offering a bunch of free stuff there as we move along. I think once this campaign is over and the backers are on board, we'll be offering freebies throughout the year. So if I get your email address, know where you are, I can send you free stuff. And if you're on Discord, it's going to make it even easier. So it'd be great. I'm looking forward to this. It's all about, getting people to know the importance of this, but also getting involved and looking for ideas, because I love appearing on the show. I mean, I've met so many creative people, and being able to see their perspective on things has inspired me to come up with new ideas for the book, which is really cool. So that's what I love, about speaking with people about this, because there's always new content that's flowing through, and that's what really makes this invigorating.
I agree. And folks, you did a great job with this video, so I'm going to play the video tape.
Welcome, fellow adventurer, to the next thrilling installment of the Time Enforcer Saga, Episode 2, Flying into the Crime Storm, where learning history can be fun.
Welcome to Axiom Intergalactic News, your single source of truth for the events that shape our reality. Timeline in chaos! The GSTC moves into action! This is your announcer, Ed Henry, bringing you the latest intergalactic updates from the Axiom News Network. The Galactic Space-Time Consortium, watchful guardians of the timeline, are under attack! A new evil from a trans-dimensional realm has emerged with a diabolical mission to transform reality as we know it. As events unfold, one question remains and looms large. Has the public placed its faith in an organization unprepared to handle the challenges ahead?
Fascinating read. A bit difficult to comprehend. I'll have to consult with CT about this one. Well, hello there, and good day to you. I'm Paul Hebert, speaking to you from the historic Thomas Nast Library, right here in Morristown, New Jersey. Now, if you've been following the reports from the Axiom News Network, you could be forgiven for believing our situation is, well, needless to say, rather dire. However, the truth is considerably more fascinating. For centuries, history has quietly shaped the world around us. Yet, do you realize that hidden behind pivotal moments in our past stands an organization dedicated to protecting the very timeline itself, the Galactic Space-Time Consortium. Its mission appears simple, but it is somewhat difficult in practice. Preserve history as we know it. Today, this challenge has never been more important, and that is precisely what the Time Enforcers is all about. One might even say learning history can be far more exciting when action and adventure is a big part of it. But enough from me. I would like to introduce you to one of the founders of the GSTC, the venerable Professor C.T. Haugens. C.T., are you there?
Blast it, Paul. Couldn't you have picked a better time to drop in? It's total chaos here. The outer defenses of the GSTC headquarters have been breached. Time portals are destabilizing. The archives are under siege. The very timeline itself is at risk of collapse. We need to call in every recruit we can to the GSTC to help out. I can't speak now. I have to go.
Well, as you can see, the situation has become considerably a bit more complicated, and quite frankly, we can use your help. Joining our Kickstarter campaign is your opportunity to take part in this mission. Whether you're discovering Time Enforcers for the very first time, or you followed our adventures from the very beginning, you will find a reward tier worthy of every agent. Choose from multiple editions of the graphic novel, including 5 stunning variant covers illustrated by an incredible lineup of legendary artists, an exclusive hardcover edition, and additional rewards that will unlock as new stretch goals are achieved throughout the campaign. Every pledge strengthens the mission. Every backer helps bring this adventure one step closer to reality. Friends, make a pledge. Support the mission and help us defeat Kronolith and his evil minions of doom once and for all. The GSTC is counting on you. Thank you for your support.
Oh my God. You did a great job with that.
I tell you, I think CT's hairline was receding as we saw it. Just look at that. I'm like, look at what's happened to the wig.
Oh my God. You can tell you're having fun.
Yeah, I just wish I had better sound quality, but it's okay. It happens when you're the cameraman, the post-production artist, and the narrator at the same time.
That's a lot of hats to wear. There's a lot of hats to wear, folks.
You know how it is, man.
Definitely do. I also want to tell you guys about the duty files. Our pal Vera is trying to get this. Well, it's already funded. Well, come on, we can get him more money than $1,000. You know, come on. I'll play the video here too, so you guys can go check it out.
When the shadows start to crawl, there's someone ready for it all. Late at night, when things get eerie, socks disappear and hallways weary. A laugh in the dark, a step on a stair. Mr. Fan's secrets drift through the air. With a twinkle in his otherworldly eyes, he chases down every surprise. From creaking doors to missing treats, no puzzles too tricky, no riddle repeats. Every corner, every case, there's a sparkle in a smiling face. Who do you call when the odd times arrive? Detective Dooley brings the light to your life. He cracks every code, he's clever and quick. No mystery lingers too long for his tricks. Who do you call Detective Dooley?
You know, I didn't. Sam should put that as an add-on. I did not see it on P3. He did.
Yeah,
I would get that.
It's an add-on for $2.
Okay, I'm going to get that. That's amazing. I totally missed it. I made the pledge. I didn't see it. I got to get that add-on. It's amazing. It's really
God, it's fantastic. He when he kicked it off on the show, he played the song so many times as he was getting people to do the Kickstarter.
Yeah,
it was great. It was fun.
That's great. Good for him. I like it. I definitely get that as an add-on when I finish the pledge, so it's really cool.
Definitely. It's a great song too, folks. Go check it out. I get the add-on. Get the theme song. Oh my God! And of course, our pal Alpaca Sue's her fruit cows are coming near the end here. She's at 42,710, 503 backers, and 39 hours to go. Folks, they have hit almost all their stretch goals. They have one more stretch goal at 45,000, and it's a pretty cool stretch goal. So help them get to 45,000. Get your Apple Cow. I have to say Apple Cow. You know why, folks, right? Because we're bitten Apple TV. You should go get your Apple Cow. These guys are cute, and you know you want one of these potted purse things to carry them in. So go check it out. Alpaca Sue's. She does amazing stuff. Yeah, great people. You know, we like to support people here. So guys, any last words before we get out of here?
Oh, this is a great time. I love being on this show. It's so much fun. Nikolai, it's great seeing you, man. I really appreciate seeing you at Garden State. It's really cool.
Oh, it's always a blast when Nikolai shows up. Especially when both the the lab coats are there. It's one of my favorite pictures to take.
And of course, the Chaos Emeralds.
Ah,
I
Chaos
love it.
Emeralds. He was trying to light it up before. It was an interesting moment. Oh, here we go.
Probably works better this way.
Ah, there you go. He lit it up. That's
Very
better than
cool.
before.
I love it.
That's actually a good last word right there. So, folks, check these beautiful people out. Go hit up all their things. Say hi. Spread the love. Share it all over the place. And, of course, on this show, when it ends, I press the button